People scramble to get to work after Typhoon Higos skirted the city. A detainee at an immigration facility diagnosed with the coronavirus, sparking fears of a new infection cluster. And in the United States, Democrats formally nominate Joe Biden for president.
Hello and a very good evening. The observatory cancelled all tropical cyclone warning signals early this afternoon, hours after Typhoon Higos made landfall in Zhuhai this morning. Before that, the increasing gale or storm signal number 9 was in force in the city for more than 6 hours.
Once again, low-lying areas in Tai-O were flooded, but not as seriously as some typhoons in the past. Pinki Wong reports.
Howling wind and heavy rain in the early hours of today. The observatory issued the first number 9 tropical cyclone warning signal of the year at 1:30 a.m. when Typhoon Higos got close to the territory. But the authorities' appeal to the public to stay away from the seashore did not stop storm chases at Hanfachun. The housing estate in the Eastern District was severely battered in 2018 when severe Typhoon Mangkhut hit the city and the number 9 signal was in force. This man said he was also at Hanfachun when Mangkhut swept past Hong Kong. He said the storm was stronger back then. In Wan Chai, a 10-meter banner was blown off a building and police arrived to take it down. Over in Tsim Sha Tsui, the storm did not scare off pedestrians near the pier. His 12-year-old, who's enthusiastic about storm chasing, said he got his mother's permission to be out, donning his protective helmet and face shield. I'm excited to see a typhoon in real life other than learning about it from books, he said. As of 11:20 this morning, the authorities had received 53 reports of fallen trees. Traffic at one time was affected near Kawaiman Road in Kennedy Town. Firefighters and police were deployed to remove the obstacles. A similar scene in Saigon. The Drainage Service Department has confirmed 2 flooding cases. In the low-lying area of Tai-O, residents braced themselves for heavy rain and backflow of water with flood barriers set up. This restaurant owner said he had moved a lot of things, including the refrigerator, indoors as he's worried the stuff would be washed away. Police, firefighters and civil aid service personnel were sent to the area to evacuate people if needed. This resident said the water level reached the top of the fences last time, but it's much lower this time around at around 3 meters high. The hospital authority noted that as of 11 a.m., 7 people had sought treatment at public hospital in storm-related incidents. Pinki Wong, TVB News.
People rushed to work later in the day after the observatory downgraded storm signals for Typhoon Higos. That led to post-typhoon traffic jams at around noon.
Dongyao talked to some of those waiting for buses and other transport at one of the city's busiest traffic hubs.
Typhoon Higos changes fast and acts speedily, and so do the city's commuters. Minutes after the typhoon signal was lowered to number 3 at 11 a.m., many appeared at the Hong Kong Cross Harbour Tunnel bus stop, well prepared to get back to the office.
It's normal. After typhoon, the traffic will be very, very busy. So I better get earlier, then I can get up the bus.
Some early birds even waited at this MTR station hours before train services resumed, just to secure a seat at the peak time. The rush hour came after noon. In Hong Kong, buses were full, long queues at the bus stops winding all the way along the footbridge.
How long do you expect it will take?
2 hours.
There were similar scenes in Siu Sai Wan and at the Central Ferry piers. Still, this man was happy that the government improved its monitoring and communication of the storm status and gave them a heads up.
I think this better than last year, very immediate notice, and they announced the typhoon will change during the around 7 or 8 o'clock this morning. So for the preparations, we can do better.
At around 1:30 p.m., the crowds have mostly disappeared, with only about a dozen passengers lining up for buses of each route, and most commuters are satisfied with the public transport arrangement.
Although Hong Kongers are used to the annual typhoon season, some see a few differences this year due to a new trend.
A lot of people work from home right now, and also our company has got some remote working process, so still have got to work in the morning.
Still, the Federation of Trade Unions wants the government to legalize exemptions for employees who have to go to work under extreme weather conditions. In response, the Labor Department said employers shouldn't cut salaries or days off for those who arrive late after a strong cyclone. Dongyao, TVB News.
Evolving through a full spectrum of storm signals, Typhoon Higos came and went in less than a day. That makes for the fastest pace in more than 4 decades. Here's more from Keina Chiu and an expert she spoke to.
In the space of under 22 hours, Higos, a Chamorro term for the fig fruit, strengthened from a tropical storm to a typhoon.
To the east of Hong Kong, we have a pretty strong subtropical anticyclone for an area of high pressure. And that provides a strong steering current. You can liken a typhoon to be a small boat in a river. So if you have river water flowing rapidly, then the typhoon will move fast. This is the case for Typhoon Higos.
On Tuesday, 3:40 a.m., the observatory issued the standby signal number 1 as Higos moved towards the region. Nearly 12 hours later, the weather forecaster upgraded the storm warning to the strong wind signal number 3 before bumping it up to the number 8 southeast gale or storm signal at 10:40 p.m. In just about 3 more hours, Higos was up by another notch to the second gravest number 9 signal. While it was skirting Hong Kong early this morning, the impact of Typhoon Higos was most felt when wind gusts of up to 130 kilometers per hour were recorded. Roughly 3.5 hours later, the storm signal was downgraded back to number 3. And by 1:20 p.m., all storm warnings were scrapped. Lasting for a total of 21 hours and 50 minutes, Higos ranks 4th among Hong Kong's shortest living storms on record. Following Super Typhoon Hope in 1979, Higos is also the most rapidly evolving typhoon in 41 years, subsiding just 5 minutes sooner than Typhoon Dongyao that lashed the city in 2003.
Over the past 40 years, we've seen a lot of changes in the climate system, and that will give rise to a certain trend. In the future, we're not going to see more typhoons, but when a typhoon comes, it's more likely to be a stronger typhoon.
Over in Macau, all tropical cyclone signals were cancelled at 3:30 p.m. The low-lying areas near the coastline of the inner harbour were flooded. The Enclave's Weather Agency issued the signal number 10 at 5 a.m. That was replaced with the signal number 8 at 7:30 a.m. All land ports between Zhuhai and Macau were closed at 6 a.m. when the number 10 signal was still in effect. The border gate and the Zhuhai-Macau cross-boundary industrial zone reopened at 10 a.m.